In today's video, I'm going to let you know the first version of the new balance change is coming in August in Clash Royale. First of all, I'm currently at home. I'm currently in Cologne at the hotel. Supercell just like messaged us, like showing us the balance change, so I instantly want to publish this video. And also, kind of want to let you know it's the first version of the balance change as always, so you guys can hear feedback in the comment section below, and I will let it pass, or like I will pass it to Supercell, and they hopefully respond to this type of feedback, as they're not usually doing the last couple of weeks. But this is kind of the dream, this is the plan, so let me know what you guys think about this balance change. Are you as disappointed as me? And I would say let's jump into that, and I'm gonna show you the 6 cards which are gonna get a change in the new August season most likely. So the first card which is getting a nerf is of course the Evolution Firecracker, but I still think Evolution Firecracker will still be broken after this change. So the first change they're gonna do is the hit points on level 11, kinda reducing it for 7.10%, which basically means, okay, 435 HP had it before, and now just 404. But which is really important about that, we're just gonna take a look there, which I think is the most important change. It's still not gonna die from arrows, so it doesn't really change too much. It's still broken, it's still OP. They still also decide to kind of nerf the big sparks, so kind of splash damage she does from like 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds instead, which of course is a big change, but kind of considering the Firecracker is currently the most broken card in the entire game, it doesn't really feel too crazy of a change, especially the hit points won't really change too much, and also the small sparks duration will be reduced from 2 seconds, which was like an old value, now to 1.5 seconds. So of course really small change, because now it means kind of the attack, it's not really that effective anymore, but I still think with all the HP she still has, with the damage she does, and also of course with the range, I think they had to nerf the range, because it's absolutely crazy that you can apply the Firecracker at the bridge and get so much damage. Also really important, you guys, it just affects the Evolution Cracker, so normal Cracker still stays the same, but I'm disappointed because Evolution Cracker will still 1% will be the best card after this update. So guys, now I kind of want to explain what Supercell says about that, and they're saying this current sentiment around the Firecracker evolution is clear and the numbers reflect it as well. Of course, it's the best card by far in Clash Royale. It's overpowered and it's also at the same time pay to win. So the changes aim to retain a higher HP, still doesn't die to arrows, which would have been the biggest change they could have done, but it's left with a lot less calls than before. Also, spark duration is reduced to effectively reduce the amount of additional damage he does. Of course, additional damage is now nerfed, but she still does so much damage. And also, especially the range, for me, is the problem. I just think it's absolutely crazy that they didn't nerf her more. And now, if they don't like change it again, we still need to wait 2 more months to see finally Firecracker not being as broken as it is right now. So guys, next up we got the Royal Giant Evolution. Of course, Royal Giant Evolution is also on the list, but I also think the change won't really do much, because I think the personal problem is like just the knockback effect, and especially combination with the rage. The attack speed is so crazy that troops aren't even able to attack him in time. So the knockback, in my opinion, is still too broken, and the damage he does is also absolutely crazy. They decided to kind of nerf the HP, which I think is a good step in the right direction, but it's not enough. So before that, he had 3,686 hit points, and now it's gonna have, or now he's gonna have 3,379 hit points, as you guys can kind of see in the back, which means minus 8.3%, which is a lot if you kind of think about it, but it's still, if you like think about Royal Giant, it's most like one of the top 2 cards in the entire game, and it's just not enough to balance this card, guys. And yeah, now I'm gonna tell you the reason for this kind of nerf from Supercell, and I don't really know if that's like, if I can take this really serious in a way. They're kind of saying the Royal Giant Evolution ability makes him fairly survivable in many situations already, so reduction to additional health bonus was in order. Yes, you're right, it's kind of the right point, but at the same time it's not the right point, because yeah, the knockback is absolutely crazy itself, and then you get, like, you gave him more HP, you gave him more damage, so it's basically absolutely broken. So I know, guys, let me know what you guys think about that, but I just think it's absolutely crazy that they didn't nerf him more. So guys, next up we got the Mighty Miner. In my opinion, Mighty Miner right now is the best champion in Clash Royale. They're kind of nerfing in an interesting way, and I think this nerf isn't really too bad, but I'm also not sure about like if it's really enough, because my problem about the card, it's so tanky, of course the free card cycle, and still so much damage, and they're kind of changing the total damage duration. So that kind of means not the damage itself, but kind of the duration, how long it takes to get the maximum damage, like Mighty Miner similar to Inferno, right, to get like the maximum level of damage from the Mighty Miner. So as you guys can kind of see in the background, like 1 okay. This is kind of what Supercell did there, and they're nerfing it like from 4 seconds. Now it takes 4.5 seconds to get the maximum damage of the Mighty Miner. Really interesting, I know. Maybe they should have done it more, but I think this is like one of the changes I personally agree with kind of way. Let me know what you guys think. Is that really enough? So what Supercell kind of saying about that is the Mighty Miner is still the most used champion at a decent margin, even after the previous HP nerf. The previous HP nerf felt like it was just like minus 1% HP, so I don't really think it was a big change they decided to do. This Further nerf aims to reduce his effectiveness as an attacker, as it will longer for him to get full damage. I mean, kind of effectiveness as on defense, because normally it's a card which you're using on defense, but the bomb itself, it's still so broken. And I just think like, I don't really use this card like too much against tanks. Of course, tanks, Mighty Miner hard counters tanks, but currently you don't really have a tank meta, and Mighty Miner is still the best champion, so it kind of shows how good the Mighty Miner is, not just against champions. So next up, guys, we got a card which I personally don't really like a lot. We got the Goblin Giant. Goblin Giant once again gets an HP buff, and I'm kind of scared that the Goblin Giant now will be really, really good, because I think personally Goblin Giant is a really annoying card to deal with. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. So they're deciding to kind of buff the HP. Back then, like in the current game, it has 3147 HP, but afterwards it's gonna have like 6% HP more, which will be 3336, as you guys can see in the background. I think this could be a crazy change and maybe make the Goblin Giant even more annoying than it is right now, because I feel like there should Goblin Giant too strong show me in the meta, especially because they're always nerfing this card. What about like other cards in the game, which I would like love to see more in the meta, because I personally don't like Goblin Giant Sparky. You could kind of argue, okay, Goblin Giant also kind of need a buff, but I think they're like cards which are like way worse than Goblin Giant, which also could receive a buff maybe, and should receive a buff, of course. So what kind of Supercell is saying about it is there's a stark divide between the popularity of certain win conditions like the Hog Rider and now the Royal Giant. I mean, the Royal Giant is OP since like 2018, okay, and the rest of the win conditions. These changes aim to make other choices that were not so popular slightly more viable choices. Yeah, I kind of get that, but to be fair, it still really won't change too much. I just think like there will be a more annoying Sparky players, but overall, since I like Firecracker will still be broken, Royal Giant will still be broken, I can already tell you guys the meta will stay exactly the same. Next up we got the Battle Ram, and the Battle Ram is also always receiving a buff, but I just think the concept itself, I mean, Battle Ram is okay in some decks, but overall, my problem with the buffs are, and I will also tell you the buff now, is that the card which counted the Battle Ram before will still count it afterwards. So Battle Ram charge distance 350 like right now, but 300 afterwards. Of course, it's a small buff. It's like minus 30.3%. So of course it's really helpful. But Cannon, Tombstone, Cage, Bomb Tower still hard counter Battle Ram, and this change won't really affect this type of matchups. And these are like the most popular decks, right? So this basically means, of course, like the Battle Ram charges up like a bit quicker, which is sometimes maybe helpful, like in front of the tower maybe. That's kind of like way charger, maybe like gets with charge connection instead of the normal connection. But what Supercell is kind of saying about is this change makes the Battle Ram a little quicker to charge up, bringing it in line with other units like Prince and Ram Rider. I mean, why would you compare a Battle Ram with a Prince first? Doesn't really make too much sense. With Ram Rider, I kind of understand. But I also think Ram Rider is currently pretty bad. And I mean, Battle Ram and Ram Rider in competitive play, if you kind of see that, I mean, I think like you kind of see the same, because both are pretty bad right now. I mean, MK is like mostly played with that, or like Bridge Spam decks that are just generally pretty bad right now, like Bomb Tower, Royal Giant, Cycle decks. So I just think the meta is pretty bad for both of them, and I don't really think it's going to change anything. Next up, we got a card which a ton of Xbow players will be happy about, but I'm personally not. So they decided to nerf the hit speed from Tesla from 1.2 seconds to 1.1 seconds. I mean, I personally think Tesla is right now one of the worst buildings, but I just feel like, yes, it's an okay nerf, but if they decided to just nerf and buff, I mean, it's okay buff, but if they just decide to buff and nerf 6 cards in Clash Royale, they need to buff and nerf other cards. It's something I don't really get. I don't know if you like kind of agree with me on that, but I don't really think like Tesla should be on the priority list. I mean, they're always talking from the priority list. It's kind of a meme, right? But you can understand what I want to say. So what I kind of saying is, in order to compete with the popularity of the Bomb Tower, this increased Tesla aims to make it more viable counter for building target units. Yes, it makes sense, I get that, but I personally think Tesla shouldn't be on a priority list. And if they're like doing 20 battle changes each month or like every 2 months, and Tesla's on it with this small change, I'm completely fine. But if they just continue focusing on 6 cards each 2 months and like really like making this slightly changes, I'm personally not too happy about that, and I just think there should be other changes. So overall I would say Tesla is okay, Battle Ram is okay, Goblin Giant, you kind of think about it, it's okay, but the meta will still stay the same. Royal Giant Evolution will still be broken, Mighty Miner will still be busted, and Evolution Cracker will be still by far the best card in Clash Royale, so I'm pretty disappointed, and I don't know what I should really say about it, but maybe you guys have a different opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. But I personally think with a really stale game, which we're having right now, at least the balance changes should be fresh and kind of making the game in a way, like, I mean, like, more enjoyable to play. And I think right now, this balance change are a big disappointment. But if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comment section. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your attention. I'm out. Goodbye.